He is one of the greatest acquisitions of the Salem radio network in recent history. People were so excited when it was announced this year that Scott Jennings joined the Salem radio network. You know him from his work on CNN, and he has a brand new book called A Revolution of Common Sense, How Donald Trump Stormed Washington and Fought for Western Civilization. He happens to do some TV for CNN most of the time. I saw him this morning on CNN, but he was willing, I think because in this capacity he's an author, he can legally, have we gotten all of the proper paperwork signed off on that Scott Jennings can join us visually this morning? We'll see. Scott, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, sir. Yes, we won't be going to jail as far as I know for this interview. We won't be going to media jail. Which is a good thing.
It is. No, I mean, like in full transparency, it is true, and this is the same with Fox or anybody else. Typically, when you guys have regular appearances on networks, it's exclusive to those networks. Everybody understands that. It's like playing for a team, right?
Yeah, we have contracts. I'm an exclusive contributor to CNN. They give you what's called a carve-out to do book promotions or other things of this nature. So as you can see over my shoulder, I'm out selling my book. It's called A Revolution of Common Sense. You can walk into a bookstore and order it right now. And because of that, I'm able to talk to you today. Yes, we're colleagues on the radio, but I'm honored to be here on your television program.
We met for the first time out there in Los Angeles, a raucous crowd for their town hall event at our affiliate there. And boy, people, I know you've gotten this everywhere you go. I follow you on social media. You're very humble about it, but I know you understand it. You speak with clarity. You speak with good cheer. And I would imagine CNN, they're no dummies. They know that there are probably a lot of conservative eyeballs on them in ways there didn't used to be because they give you a platform to speak, which to their credit has not always been the case. But they seem to really enjoy your work there.
Yeah, it's been really smart. And I think CNN does deserve credit for doing a debating show. You know, I'm most often on the 10 o'clock Eastern show with Abby Phillip, and it's a debating show. You know, we sit around a round table, we kick around the issues of the day, but it gives me a chance to tell CNN and my colleagues and our viewers what half or more than half or 90% of the country thinks about, you know, some of these big issues. I think cable TV is pretty boring when it's just six people sitting around agreeing with each other or, you know, congratulating each other on their increasing levels of smugness. I think a little debate and a little friction and a little back and forth is content that people want. It's working for us, so CNN is smart to do it.
The brand new book, A Revolution of Common Sense, you just visited the White House, I saw, and President Trump autographed a copy of the book, gave it his full endorsement. That's always cool.
Yeah, it was great. I went over there Monday night. I met with him in February about doing the book, and I said, if I move quickly, I'll deliver it by the end of the year, and so we have done that. And I signed a copy for him, and he signed a copy for me. Interestingly, the cover of the book it's really striking. It's a great cover. When I was writing it, I thought, what should I put on the cover? So I sent him a message and said, you know, what picture do you think is best emblematic of your first 100 days in office? And that is the picture that came back. So Donald Trump picked the picture for the cover of the book, and then on the back, there's a picture of the president and me meeting aboard Air Force One on his 100th day in office. So I got a real up-close view of how he runs the country. I tell you, I don't know who was running the country the previous 4 years, but I know who's running the country now, and it's that man right there, Donald Trump.
Fought for Western civilization. This is something I admire about you a lot. You have not moved even a little bit off of what you believe is the important work he's doing by way of the Abraham Accords, the peace that he's trying to strike in Gaza, bombing Iran's nuclear sites. You haven't moved off that. And quite frankly, there's a movement inside, whatever you want to call it, conservatism, populism, MAGA-ism, America First-ism, whatever. That's become a real bone of contention. You've not moved off of it.
Not at all. In fact, I think Donald Trump has been a beacon of moral clarity on these issues in the Middle East. He can tell the good guys from the bad guys, and he knows when it's right to engage strategically. Israel was fighting radical Islamic terrorists after October the 7th. They're fighting Iran, they're fighting Hezbollah, they're fighting the Houthi rebels. They are fighting people that, if given the chance, would willingly and gladly destroy the United States of America. So they're our ally, and we support them in that fight. And then when it was time, Donald Trump engaged, and we took Iran's nuclear weapons away from them. This makes us safe. It makes Israel safe. It makes the region safe. And if you look at what Trump is trying to do, Chris, expand the Abraham Accords. That's the whole purpose of this Saudi visit. He's trying to get the Arab states bound together economically and strategically with Israel, economically and strategically. A safer Middle East is a good place to do business. That's good for the economy of the United States, and it also keeps these radicals down. And so right now we're safer than we've ever been in the Middle East because of what he did to Iran. And I don't have a lot of time for these arguments that somehow from people who cannot tell the difference between the good guys and the bad guys in the Middle East. Israel is our ally. Hamas and the terrorists, they're the bad guys. We do well to remember it.
Scott Jennings' brand new book is called A Revolution of Common Sense, How Donald Trump Stormed Washington and Fought for Western Civilization. I've been a little persnickety today, Scott, not because I think that we shouldn't have full disclosure of everything related to Epstein. I do, fine, whatever. It just frosts me that the House and Senate can move lightning quick and get something like that done when there is, I mean, I've got stacks of stories in front of me of the things that we could be and should be addressing, and you would like to see Congress move with that same severity. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, how about the fact that your health insurance premiums and deductibles are so outrageous that it doesn't even feel like you have insurance at all because we live under this failed regime called Obamacare? I mean, Democrats have been so hot to trot to do something on Epstein, but they're not as interested in fixing this law that they put upon the American people that has completely destroyed American health care. I mean, they only care about things as long as they believe those things will hurt Donald Trump. Now, interestingly, on this Epstein story, I don't think they ever thought the Republicans would do it. And now what have we found out? Trump actually got rid of Epstein, but Democrats continued to cozy up to him even after he was a convicted sex trafficker. I mean, you had him programming members of Congress. You had Larry Summers, who, by the way, has had to resign from something else this morning. He was soliciting dating advice from Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, Hakeem Jeffries was trying to fundraise with Jeffrey Epstein. You go on and on and on and on. It's Democrats who stuck with Epstein. It's Trump who got rid of him. This may blow up in their face.
Scott, the White House, as I understand it today, I was just seeing some Fox reporting this morning, they are now kind of leaning into the reporting from Miranda Devine and others that the FBI, even still today under Kash Patel, maybe not as forthcoming with the details surrounding Crooks, the attempted assassin of Donald Trump's son Butler. How do you read that story? I mean, the reporting does seem credible. There's more to know than maybe what the FBI is saying. I'm holding out the possibility that they know things they can't say because of the investigation. I mean, I'm just not one of these guys that's prepared to turn on Kash and Dan Bongino all of a sudden as though they're deep state guys. But that seems to be, again, the trend amongst some on our side. So tell me how you read it.
So I'm very troubled by the details or some of the reporting that we've seen. And I think Miranda Devine is a great reporter. So that's number one. Number two, now that this is starting to trickle out, I do think we need a full accounting of what happened in Butler, not just on the security side. How in the world could someone climb up there and get that close to killing the president? But on the motivation side, I mean, it just never seemed right to me that somebody would do this for no reason at all. And given what we know about the shooter of Charlie Kirk, given what we know about the attack on the school in Minneapolis, given what we know about what happened to the Christian school in Nashville, it does seem we have an epidemic of violence among people who have certain proclivities in this country. If it is true about this shooter in Pennsylvania, the American people need to know it. But it strikes me that this guy tried to kill the President of the United States. And we don't know anything about why or who he was or where he came from. That
do you think it a cover up, though, Scott? May I just press on that? Do you think? I mean, what do you think Kash and people like Dan Bongino are up to if they're not fully disclosing this stuff?
I don't know, but I trust them. I know Dan Bongino a little. We've communicated a little bit, and I do trust him. And look, I think if they had something that they could tell us, they would. I also think that it's better to tell people things when you know the full story, like, you know, what are we dealing with here? What's real and what's not real? I think it would be terrible, frankly, if they were to publicize information that turned out later to not be true. That's what Democrats do. They publicize information to help themselves politically. Republicans typically publicize information that's true. And so that's what I want our government to do. Figure out ironclad what's true and then tell us the truth about that and not hold back. I think that's the best course of action.
This book is a must-read. It's called A Revolution of Common Sense, How Donald Trump Stormed Washington and Fought for Western Civilization. Thrilled and proud to call him a colleague on the radio, on the Salem Radio Network, every day at 2 p.m. Eastern on great radio stations all over the country. And you can catch him on CNN visually, except this morning when he's actually here to promote a book. So we're legally safe. Scott, great to see you, my friend. Happy Thanksgiving.
Chris, you were out in L.A. the other day, and thanks for having me on.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.